Hey everybody, Mike here, doing a reading on Mars and Gemini. One of the things about Mars and Gemini is, well, first of all, the Mars being in Gemini right now is in retrograde. So it being in retrograde can represent, instead of it being external effects on the world, it's more so an internal effect. Mars brings a lot of rough energy, very fiery energy. He is the god of war, so he's always ready, right? So if Mars is in Gemini, the social butterfly, then that can mean that there's a lot of things probably going on in the social world, right? Within circles, within cliques, where there's a lot of arguments and disagreements. But then you have Gemini also being about intellect, being about the mind, but more so the surface aspect. It's like Scorpio is the deeper aspect of the mind, but then you have Gemini that's more of the surface, more of the intellect, more of the frontal lobe, rational thinking. So with Mars being in Gemini and retrograde meaning inward, there's a lot of things that Spirit is probably bringing up to the surface about things that were pretty much suppressed in our subconscious mind in order for us to survive. But now Spirit is allowing more of a grace period where possibly people notice that, things ain't really working in my in at work, or things is not really working in my relationship. And that can be because Spirit is not trying to take those things from you, but Spirit is trying to force you to pay attention and put your mental energies within your own self in order to heal yourself. And that's a lot of what this Mars and Gemini came to do. It came to really give us that fire, that energy. At first, I thought of it as like the god of war literally coming down to war against our minds. So it probably started off a lot with anxiety and just having a lot of discomfort mentally, because of the amount of aggression that you probably feel is being put on you, like an oppression. But then after you realize that, the God of war is really for us and not against us, because all the gods are for us, his aggression is not to really make us, withdraw or hide. No, he's like a rough dad. Like, he's a dad that's going to teach you how to fight. So he's going to put you in a ring, and he don't want you to shrink back, but instead Spirit wants you to fight. Spirit wants you to give, put more in, bring some of those licks, fight against what's being oppressed against you, because it's almost like in the Mars and Gemini aspect, it's almost like watching a Marvel movie where the villains just come out of nowhere and just shooting through a portal and start shooting through the city. That's what Mars and Gemini look like. Gemini is a city, but then you have Mars, which is like those aliens that just come out of nowhere, just want to attack, and then the heroes come and fight them. That's what we have to do. We have to allow our heroes to come and fight the battle for us, because this is for experience, and this so that we can be, cleansed in the inside from some of the things that we've been suppressing and hiding, so that we can survive. But we can't survive no longer. Five of Wands at the bottom of the deck. We cannot survive no longer with those things, because Spirit is bringing, globally, everybody into a new space. And in order to survive in that new space, we must be able to get rid of the fights, the wars that's going on in the inside, the battles, right? The Five of Wands energy. And, a lot of the things, the Fool in reverse, like a lot of the things having to do with what's taking my initiative, what's taking me away from not being able to take the steps that I need, pile number 2. And then you have pile number 3, it's all about what can I leave behind? What am I supposed to leave behind? Spirit, what are you telling me that you keep telling me to leave things behind and let things go? What are you telling me? Spirit is saying for pile number 3, it's not about the external things, it's about the internal things that you need to let go. Because if you let go of things externally but not the things internally, then you really just not really made any progress at all, because all you'll do is manifest that thing in something else physically. But if you change what's going on in the inside, pile number 3, and get rid of those things, then whatever doesn't look like that in the inside or in the outside world is not going to align with you, and you're not going to have it anymore. So interesting, the Ace of Cups in reverse. It's the emotions that you have to let go, pile number 3, right? So let's keep going here, because Spirit is obviously on a trend or something. So, you know, this is pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pick a pile, picks in ask spirit like which pile is for me. You know, you just had a quick preview of each pile, so you kind of get the drift of what's going on in each pile. So whatever word connected with you, and I put that card down on the pile, that's also your pile. There's several ways you can pick a pile. You know, sometimes I might see it, don't get me mixed up with the words clairvoyance and clairaudience and stuff like that, but if you want, sometimes I see the cards or one might glow up more than the other. Like, just you allow God to speak to you, or spirit to speak to you in your own unique way, so you can be able to pick the pile that's for you, and you making sure you're picking the right pile. So this pile number 2 I'm going to put to the side, and pile number 3 I'm going to put to the side, and then pile number 1. Pile number 1. There's so much fire burning inside your heart. And what's causing that fire to burn is that spirit is trying to ignite that comeback inside of you. Because this Mars in Gemini is supposed to show you how to come back from some of the things that you've been going through. Because what spirit has for you, pile number 1, is so much better than where you are now. And you know that. You know that life gets better and better as you progress. And spirit is saying for this pile, your life is going to continue to progress. That's how I created you to be able to progress through the things that you go through the obstacles. And a lot of times people might not understand that the battles you fight is internal, and not just that, but you, because they're internal, you fight them differently, right? You fight battles differently than a lot of other people, and people don't understand those tactics that you use. But spirit is saying for you, pile number 1, it doesn't matter anymore. Restoration and restitution is coming back to you, pile number 1. You need to heal. The reason for this Mars in Gemini was to show you how to heal from some of the things that you needed to heal from, that you so long put off because you was going after your dreams and your goals, pile number 1. But I see spirit literally putting a circle of protection around you, pile number 1. As you begin to heal, nothing can get in and penetrate that is against you. You are protected, pile number 1. And you are safe enough to be able to heal the way that you need to heal, because sometimes the healing means you need to break free from things that's no longer serving you. See, sometimes if we're with somebody and they're not serving us anymore, they have to make a choice. Are they going to elevate so that they can serve you, or they're not? And if they choose not to, spirit will remove that person. Because spirit is not going to allow you, pile number 1, to be in a situation with anyone that is not feeding you the way you need to be fed. And if that feeding isn't happening on a level that you need, spirit is suggesting you might want to look into another means. Because sometimes walking away is what's going to bring the person into a realization of what they need to get together for you. But if they don't see that there is a consequence to violating your spirit, then they will continue to do it. But spirit is releasing boundaries into this pile. Your boundary setting. Your boundary setting, because you spend so many times giving away the boundaries to other people. The spirit is asking you to be able to now set boundaries in a way where you're not substituting what you want anymore for someone who's not willing to deliver what you need. Thank you, spirit. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this card, and then we're going to see what more spirit has to say. We have the Alchemist. this has a lot to do with things feeling like I'm trying to mix this, I'm trying to mix that, I'm trying to put this together, I'm trying to put that together. Pile number one, it's like you're in this creative set, this creative mindset where you're trying to just recreate and remold some things that was kind of, it's like you're working on a masterpiece that's taking time to build, because I don't think any masterpiece, pile number one, I'm going to suggest to you, look up how long it took for any masterpiece to be created. It sometimes, you know, even look at the fact that when God created the Grand Canyon or the mountains, that was a long period of time, depending on which theory you believe in scientifically. But it was a long period of time and a lot of erosion, a lot of different things happening that, you know, allowed that to happen. So understand, pile number one, that your creative power is not dissolved. It's just that it's taking time to build up what needs to build up to be ready. Like when someone's creating something, like, you know, if you're cooking, or even like people who do, you know, sometimes people who do like witchcraft or things like that, when you're putting ingredients together, sometimes, you know, if you're cooking bread, you are waiting for the dough to rise before you're able to really use the dough. Because when I worked at Pizza Hut when I was younger, we had to set the bread out inside the pan and put the pan to the side and let it cook. And then while we were doing that, we were doing the sauce. And while we was doing that was working, we was putting the ingredients in its place. You're in a setup right now. And at the end of the day, you need to give this time and that time. And you feel like that you're ready and you're there because this area grew so much faster than that area. But Spirit is like, I don't need you to see where you're strong at. We know where you improved at. We know where you got better. We now need to see the growth in the areas that did not grow as fast. And that's why you're in this state, because Spirit forced you into the dark room to be able to bring the negatives to light. In the dark room. Bring in the negatives to light. In the dungeon of your mind. Trying to make sense. Mars energy also represents sense. Spirit's aggression towards things that are not in alignment. And sometimes we might get hit or damaged while Spirit is trying to attack the thing that has been attacking you the entire time. But the thing about Spirit, excuse me 1 second, guys. Denali. Come on, Denali. Come on, Denali. Denali. Let's go. Come on, puppy. Hold on, number one. Come on, puppy. Okay, sorry, pile number one. I could not risk having my dog run out the gate. She is a digger, so I wanted to make sure she came inside before I finish this. But for pile number one, let's get back to what I was saying. You are, again, like the Mars situation, how Mars' job is to come against the things that are not serving you or pleasing you or putting you in a position that's making you happy. And sometimes when we hold on to old things, we lose that happiness and that joy. But Spirit is telling everything that's around you, you grow or you go. Grow or go. Grow or go. Because this got to be dealt with. These are wands. This is the 5 of Wands. What's happening here is confusion. But what Spirit is doing is taking out the sticks that don't serve you no more and realigning the ones that do serve you. Okay? I also do personality type assessments, and also like MBTI, Carl Jung. I do those assessments to find out what your personality type is. Mine is INFJ, and I also do a comparison of relationships with the both of the different personality types. But this needs to be healed. This needs to be brought into alignment. Whatever this is a mess. This is a mess. There's a foundation that was not built in the way it needed to be built. So Spirit had to come through and kind of clean that up. Clean it up for you. No more. All right. There's your reading, pile number 1. Wait, Spirit is like, nope, don't end yet. I try to end because I have a hard time like uploading these videos up to my YouTube. The longer they are, the harder it takes for them to download. So I am, Spirit says, stop talking, keep going. Judgment card. Whew. This is a time of judgment. Judgment does not mean sentencing. That's what people don't realize. Judgment, I don't mind being judged sometimes because your judgment is not my sentencing. What it is allowing me to see what needs to be restored inside of me. You know what I mean? Like, don't be afraid of the mirror time, of going within. Don't be afraid of looking in the mirror and working out what you need to work out. Because it's all good. There's all goodness inside of you. It's just some of that goodness is just not really aligned or placed where it needs to be placed because of like the bad experiences that people brought onto us. A lot of the times we don't bring bad experiences on ourselves. We just live life and enjoy it. And we are moving towards pleasure. We're moving towards ease. We're moving towards comfort. And sometimes people can bring some things that is counter to that. But Spirit is removing those things that's inside of you that's causing you not to be able to love yourself or enjoy yourself. It's time to look in the mirror and be okay with what you see. Pile number 1. You can't take that on anymore. Okay? And I see like the mirror, but then it's like the mirror checks don't end. After this one, it's going to be another one. But the key is look at the sky. Look at the planets up there inside on the upper part. The thing with that is that as long as you keep looking at the stars, keep trusting in Spirit, keep on studying yourself, your astrology, your personality, doing that internal reflection, more is going to come to you. You just got to keep going through what you need to go through, because what you're going through is going to make you into the person you need to be, because this is a tower. This is a tower moment for you, Spirit said. Okay? Oof. Keep on looking in. keep on looking in. Don't stop. Don't stop looking in. There's going to be distractions that's going to come, but Spirit is saying, don't let that get in your way. I love you, pile number 1. There's your reading on what this Mars and Gemini is doing for you. Stay connected to me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it blessed you. I hope it gave you what you needed. Pile number 2. Whew. Man, oh man, this is heavy. Pile number 2, I see you swimming in the pool. Usually when someone's swimming in the pool, it represents healing. It represents restoration. It represents restitution. It represents relaxation and healing on the mind. Spirit is bringing healing into your mind, pile number 2. It's been difficult. Oh, it's been hard. It's been tough. You sometimes didn't even know you were going to get through it. Ooh. Yup. I come against anything that is not serving you. You need to spend some time soaking in the goodness of Spirit. Whew. Because what you did not understand while you were going through what you were going through was that all of it was to create something inside of you that you never knew you had. It was a diamond. Spirit is creating. Your third eye is opening. And I also see the pentagon around the eye. The pentagon represents war. It represents military, which is a lot that's happening. And Spirit is allowing you to see the fight, the war. You're seeing it now. It's like I used to know a little bit about what's going on, but it's like you lost sight on what that looked like, and Spirit had to refocus your attention on the fight, because kingdoms are always at war. It's just that you gotta protect your boundaries. Spirit is reviving the fight in you, the spiritual fight. You see the pentagon around the eye? Ooh, good God Almighty. But, oof. The Fool in reverse represents, ooh, there it is. I just felt something released to this pile. You need to come against whatever is not allowing you to build what you want to build, or create what you want to create, pile number 2. Ooh. This also is for pile number 1ers. People who was in pile number 1 who kind of stumbled on here. This part's for you. Your eye. Whew, good God Almighty. It's opening. Your eyes is opening. Because these 2 eyes were fashioned and conditioned to see the world the way the world wants you to see the world. These 2 eyes allow you to view the world and make a perception about what's happening based off of your own repertoire. Oh my shot. Whew. But when our third eye opens up, eesh, let me tell you something. These 2 eyes don't have the capacity to see things that we need to see all the time. These eyes are for the physical world. But there is an invisible eye that is for the invisible world, and it's invisible because it needs to see the invisible world. And that eye doesn't see outwardly, it sees inwardly. It sees depths. It doesn't see range on how wide something is. It is points. It is focused. It is like a laser focused light that when it looks on something, it can't help but to change it. These eyes see outward. It's spread. The third eye sees straight deep down inside what needs to be seen. Focus on your eyes is what I hear is pile number 2. Focus on fixing them. Student card. Humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. Read books with your third eye and not just your 2 eyes. Pile number 2. You got to open up a little bit more. You need to see. You need to learn. You got to feel. You got to experience. You have to resolve some things. It's interesting because I saw something about it. I saw the solar system and it looks like an eye. It looks like an iris. This the sun is the pupil, right? And then the sun even does increase and decrease slightly based off of what season it's in. It goes to a 10-year season where it's very active and open. Then it's a 10-year season where it's kind of like not as active, kind of closed a little bit. Look into that, whoever you are, pile number 2, on what happens when the sun is open, when it's closed, astrologically and physically. But the solar system looks like an eye. And then around it is the planets, is the iris, right? Just spinning around it. And then you have the Kuiper belt, which is outside, and the white part of the eye, which is like the outer part of the solar system. Forgot what you call that, but that's just all energy that the sun releases out as far as it can go, and then it creates a wall of radioactive energy. And so it looks like an eye, actually, when you look at the solar system in its wholeness. Because we are the apple of Spirit's eye. We're the center of his eye. He's always seeing us. He's always on us. He always knows us. He's always watching us. Okay, pile number 2. All right. Pile number 3. Oof. Pile number 3, I see you on a motorcycle. Whew, this been an easy ride for you. You actually needed it. You said, Spirit, listen. You know, this energy is only hard for people who is not letting go. But people who already did the letting go, this season is just like, all right, goodbye, rest of it. Pile number 3, you already knew this was coming. You already felt it in your soul. This is a season for everybody, but Spirit said you already knew this season was coming. And why not have it before we go into a new year, right? This is such a cleansing season right before the new year. Like, God is so involved with us. It's crazy. And you guys already knew this was coming. You guys already did the planning and the cutting and the searing and the shifting and you did the work. So now this time is really just, you know, after you carve something in the wood and you just blow the dust away, and then you can see finally what was created. This is what this season is for you. Pile number 3. Climbing it. You climbing this easy. You already knew. Oh, Spirit, I thank you for their fortitude and their strength. You guys are the ones that's supposed to help the people that's going through this season, that's having a hard time going through this Mars and Gemini. I love you, pile number 3. I mean, it's not even much to really say because you guys, y'all did the work. Ooh, y'all walked away from what wasn't serving you. And it was an empty cup. Y'all walked away from it. You guys are the example of what the finished work is supposed to look like from this Mars and Gemini. Y'all walked away. And Spirit is proud of you, and Spirit is happy for you for turning your back on the things that no longer served you anymore. It's behind you because you realize that that one cup from the Ace of Cups being spilt over, there's so many more cups along my path. Why do I have to worry about that one cup that spilt over? When I got so many other cups to come. You, pile number 3, made that choice. And that's why this is a good season for you. You guys are doing it. Y'all climbing to the top. You're all using this Mars and Gemini energy like it ain't nothing. You said, Daddy, God of War, give me that fire and that fight. Bring it on. Because I'm ready. We're ready. Power number 3, I feel y'all energy of like that Aries energy just rise. You guys can have Aries energy in different placements of your chart too. Like Aries moons people, Mars and Aries people, this energy is the boost that, you know, your divine spirit had to give you. The god of Mars gifted you during this time. Because what this Mars and Gemini does, it affects Aries placements and Gemini's placements. Gemini placements is feeling a lot of the heat because Mars is coming after Gemini. But then the Mars Aries placements is feeling a lot of that assertiveness because you are that force that's coming against these systems and tearing them down. You guys have a part to play that's different. See, I have high Gemini placements and Aries placements in the background, so I was affected internally. My Venus in Gemini. My heart was, yeah. But people with Aries placements and high placements, those placements, you're going to get a lot of energy in. So I have placements when it comes to like spirituality, Aries in my parts of spirit. So I'm doing a lot of spiritual work. I'm doing a lot of cleansing. My God, this power, you are cleansed. You're so pure. Like you have to, no matter what, you're white. You have white on. You are pure as you climb the darkness that's around you. You maintain your integrity. You maintain who you are. That's what purity is. That's what integrity is. It's maintaining who you are. Defending and fighting for you, right? I love you, power number 3. Stay encouraged. Spirit just breathing on you, saying good job, you know, rest, revitalize yourself, and continue to fight the battle. Right? All right. Hold on, there's more. Spirit is like, wait. There is something called the circumcision of the heart, where you just cut away some things that don't need to be there no more. Yeah, your heart is being cleansed. Oh my. Power number 3. You had to climb up the debris for so long. Spirit is saying, no, you're cleansing. You're cleansing, power number 3. Continue to cleanse, continue to grow, continue to build, continue to be who you are. Stay in your integrity. Don't let people get in your way. Don't let people block you. You got this. You got what you need. You have everything inside of you, power number 3. You keep being that fire that needs to burn. You need to burn through some things. You need to come into agreement with some of these things. You need to know who you are, power number 3. People can't stop you no more. They tried to stop you before, but they can't stop you no more. All that's coming to an end, power number 3. Yeah, let me just go ahead. 4 of Wands. Happiness is coming. Happiness is coming. You're not going to feel like you're in a box because you are going to have limits, but there will be an opening. A porch and a house is 2 different things. A house, it has boundaries. It is homeostasis. It is an environment separate from the external environment, but a porch is covering, but openness. Cover yourself, power number 3, but stay open, but set your boundaries. Heal your pain. You're not exempt from pain. You just need to know how to deal with it sometimes. There are people that can help you. But you got to be helped. You got spiritual people around you that can support you, who hold the ingredients in their hands, who sit on the mirror that they once had to look at. Trust them people. And you have to be open. Okay. One last thing I'm going to do. I want to real quick. The 9 of Cups real quick. Yeah, 9 of Cups is following your heart, following your heart's desires, doing what you want to do, pile number 3. All right, so what I'm going to do now is pile number 3. That is it for your reading. I'm going to go ahead and do a collective reading at the end for everyone since the energy is still hot. Whew, the energy is hot. Thank you, Spirit. Give the people what they need. Give them what they need. Speak. Yup. All that. Give me all that. Whatever you want to say. The main thing about this Mars and Gemini, everybody, is that the Gemini requires decision making, rational decision making. You now have to make rational decisions during this time. There used to be a time where you made decisions out of your heart. Spirit is saying, no, I need you to look at things with your physical eye as well and be able to see some of the things you need to move out of the way that is not incongruent with your third eye. When you look in your third eye, don't neglect your 2 eyes. The power is having all 3 of them see at once. The reason why there's 2 eyes, 2 physical eyes, because they're weak. They're limited. They need partnership. They need the one eye needs the other eye. One by itself cannot stand alone, but the third eye stands alone. It can see all things and it defends itself and it speaks for itself. It don't need another. It is supreme. But when you use all 3 of them together, there's unity, there's strength. You have a clear perspective, a bound. 3 always represents strength. It represents strength in numbers, strength in increase, strength of likenesses of the same thing coming together to create a greater appearance of that likeness or a greater strength of it. Have all 3 of your eyes look at the situation and you'll be able to see. Pull 1 card for one eye, pull another card for the left eye, and pull 1 for the third eye. That's what I just did. I did not know that that's what Spirit was trying to do. So if you do your own cards, look at it. So your third eye is seeing the pain, is seeing the hurt, and is flipping it. It's turning that pain around. Your other eye is seeing where you're not really progressing at. Another eye is seeing where things are really not complete in. But Spirit is saying, I am showing you how to complete the task. I am showing you how to win. I am showing you how to move forward. Allow your third eye to see the pain that passes through. Allow your third eye to see the pain that passes through. Your third eye is connected to your emotions because it's invisible. The third eye is connected to all invisible things. Things that cannot be seen can be seen by the third eye. Ooh. Man, oh man. Just as much as the 2 eyes can see the physical world, the third eye can see the metaphysical world, the emotional world. Oof. It can see all worlds. This Mars energy came to cleanse us. I love you guys. Be encouraged. Stay strong. Stay fighting. Stay spiritually fit. Do what you need to do. Like, whatever Spirit is telling you to do it. Like, this is what Spirit been telling me to do. I got to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I try to stay away from the camera, but I'm not doing that no more. I'm just going to do what I need to do. I just been not really paying attention because I've been using my 2 eyes, but my third eye is open, so I see the pain now, so I can undo the pain, so that I can see things better in a clearer perspective with these 2 eyes. It all works together. I love you all. I wore the Chicago Bulls hat because I'm a Taurus. All day. I'm a Taurus. Taurus Stellium, by the way. So I mess with this Taurus. Oh my God, the love is coming in. He came just in time because the reading's about to end. So yeah, love you guys. Stay encouraged. Stay blessed.